Hi YouTube, my name is Rachel and I'm currently the mom of one baby girl, Taylor, who is 6 months old right now. And today I'm going to be reviewing and comparing for you my two Medela breast pumps. And so real quick, just so you know when I'm pumping, where I'm pumping, I went back to work when Taylor was almost 4 months old, and so I pump when I'm at work, pump twice when I'm at work, and that was when she was at 4 months, and currently now too we're on a different schedule for her, but pumping I still only pump twice, I also, she sleeps through the night, and so I pump in the morning. When I wake up, I feed her from one side and I pump her from the other. So every morning I do have to pump, and sometimes I pump at night if my husband and I are up late. But I try, that just helps me to not be like as full in the morning, but I try not to do that too much because I don't want to have too much of an oversupply, which I did at one point. So again, you just kind of want to pump when you're missing a feeding. So my baby's on a great schedule, so I know when I need to pump. Yeah, so I don't want to drag that on too much. I'll do another video sometime with my pumping, eating schedule tips. But right now, let's just talk about the breast pumps. So we've got the pumping style, and again, I do pump every morning, so I do pump at home and I do pump in the office. And the pumping style is my primary pump that I use. This one we purchased through our insurance, and most of the times, so this is the pump. Let me show it up close for you guys. We've got, there we go. So this is your on-off switch right here. And then this is also your gauge for like how fast it's going or the intensity, whatever you want to, guess that's the intensity more. Then this plug right here, this is where the air tubing goes. So most of the times when I'm at home, I keep one side closed up like this, and I just pump from the one side. When I'm at work and I'm pumping both sides, it's like that, and I plug in another tube. This is for the power cord, and then this button here, it has, when you first turn on the pump, it has, I forget what it's called, but you know, basically a stimulation mode for to stimulate your letdown, and then once, and it automatically switches to like the regular pumping motion after a minute or two. And if you have let down sooner, then you can hit this button and it goes straight into the pump. So I'll demo that for you. Let me walk you through the rest of the pumping style before we go over to the freestyle. So again, this is the tubing. It is different than the freestyle. So if you get both pumps, you can't use the same parts. They have totally separate parts. So again, the tubing, I do have a set of tubing at home, and I have a set of tubing at work. And we purchased those on Amazon, and we didn't purchase the Medela brand, but it's working beautifully. It was whatever is on Amazon. So again, here's the tubing. This is your part for the Medela. Or one of the two, because you can do two at a time. So your standard Medela bottle, these are the same. These are the same, and the breast shields are the same. Those two parts are the only parts that are the same. This part is, so it's three pieces. So it's this connector, it's this yellow connector, and this white little piece right here that I lose all the time, and I'm always ordering more of these. And if your pump is like, so I've heard, if it's not sucking as much, you can try replacing this part. So anyways, this goes into this, and again, it all comes apart easy. I do wash and steam everything every time I use it because I'm weird like that. Some people just wash with soap and water. I like to sanitize my stuff every time. And the breast shield goes in, and the bottle goes on like that. And then we connect the tubing right in here, and boom. There it goes. So let me plug this in for you guys so you can hear it, maybe. All right, the pumping style is plugged in. I'm going to turn this on, and you can hear, hopefully you can hear that it's going kind of fast right now. And again, this is the stimulation mode. And then when you're ready, you hit this button, and it goes into the regular pump. This side's not closed. Let me close it. It'll be a little bit quieter. There we go. And that's your basic noise for this. I'm not going to pump on camera. Sorry, that's not my style. But it has great suction. I think when I first started using it, when I waited till I was 4 weeks postpartum, even though I had issues with my milk. All the lactation specialists said don't pump, so I did wait until I was 4 weeks. And then I started pumping a little bit, and it hurt so bad. And so I definitely had this on the low setting. But now that I am 6 months postpartum, or even when I went back to work, it was like I could turn this baby on high speed right away, or high suction, and no problem. So this is the pump. I do think with the pump and style, there is milk getting into the pump. I don't think that milk is gonna get in here and go all the way down into the actual pump. I've never even had milk get into the tubing, but it could. I mean, that you can see in here, no, you probably can't see in here, but so milk travels down this little corridor, and it's kind of right where the tubing is for the air. But they have it in such a way that the tubing's protected a little bit. The only time I see anything in my tubing is when I do both sides at the same time, but I don't think it's milk. I think it's more condensation, just from the heat of it. In the office where a pump is always a weird temperature and humid in there anyways. So what I do always when I'm done pumping, I plug these out and I let my tubing hang like that, and I let my pump keep going to hopefully get some milk out. But it's pretty quiet. You do have to plug this in all the time. I believe there is a battery adapter that you can buy, but I've never used it. So you have to use your pump and style with an outlet. So for me, again, I pump in the morning at home, and sometimes at night at home, and I pump in the office. So being near a plug isn't a problem. I'm always near a plug. So that's the pump and style. Let me know in the comments below if you have questions about the pump and style that I didn't answer. Here is the Medela Freestyle. So this one was given to me by a friend that she moved on with her breastfeeding journey, and so I got to inherit this. This has been such a blessing because I have kept this at work as my backup pump when I forget a part. Like you saw, there's so many parts on here, and if you forget one thing, it's not gonna work. So those little white discs, I keep extras of those at work because sometimes I forget them. So Freestyle. Freestyle is battery operated. You don't need to be near a plug. So this would be great if you're a student and you're pumping and you don't know where you're going to be near a plug, or you're outside and you don't know that you're going to be near power. This is great. It's also so small. Let's compare the size. So this is the motor for pump and style. Freestyle, hello. Teeny tiny compared. So teeny tiny compared. So this all fits in a Jujube Be Quick. I mean, awesome. I mean, you can just throw it in. You've got all your parts. I keep mine like this at work, wrap it up, and I just keep it in my desk. So, and I have used it a couple times. So, there is a charging port to recharge the battery. Again, the tubing is different. The tubing, here's the tubing. So this part of the tubing connects in like this, and I have it wrapped right now, so you can just do one side at a time if you want to do it that way, and then move it out. Okay, I got this wrong. But anyways, now you can do 2 sides at a time. So you can wrap one side up to do one side at a time, or, you know, or do both. And let me walk you through the other parts. All right, again, these parts are bigger, so you're not going to be losing them like the little white parts. Those just go right down the drain. Okay, so here it is. It's this part, this little deal, I don't know what this is called. I would imagine this too, if you had problems with suction, you could replace these, and that would help. And it goes in there, and then you clamp it on like that. And this connects right into your bottle and your brush shield. So again, your bottle and your brush shield are interchangeable. So those are the only 2 parts that are interchangeable, is the brush shields are the same and the bottles are the same. And those are totally interchangeable from the Freestyle to the Pump and Style. And then the tubing hooks right back up through here. So one of the biggest differences that I kind of see, and I'm not an engineer, is just that milk travels like down this corridor. I got it, kind of got it there, down that corridor and straight down into the bottle, and the suction is kind of behind the scenes. So especially with the Freestyle, I don't think that there's any way that milk is going to get into your tubing and go all the way into your motor. I mean, I just don't even see how that would happen. So if you're looking to buy it used, which you're not supposed to do, they are single-use breast pumps, but if you're breaking the rules and being a rebel and buying it used, I would probably want to buy a used Freestyle over Pump and Style, just based off of what I've seen with the pumps. And again, I'm no expert or engineer or anything like that. So the tubing is about the same length. I think this one, yeah, this one is a little bit longer. So the Pump and Style tubing is a little bit longer. But again, the Freestyle, you don't have to have this on a table. So when I pump with the Pump and Style, I need this on a table. And with the Freestyle, this can be in my lap. So if you're outdoors or you don't have like a designated pumping spot, Freestyle. I've also seen people use these on airplanes. So again, how you turn this one on, it's all digital. So there, I turn it on, it's going. Can you hear it? Again, stimulation mode. This is where I increase the power. You hear that? The dog just jumped. So again, a little bit louder, I think. And definitely if you do have it sitting on a surface, it's a little bit louder in my opinion. And it does have this timer though. I think that timer is awesome. I wish the Pump and Style had that timer. It's just nice to know how long it's been, because sometimes it can feel like forever and it's only been a couple minutes. I don't know what this mom button is. I've never pressed that. Oh, it kind of tapers it off. Oh, that's cool. That ends it for you. I didn't even know. Okay. So, again, this builds it up. This is your stimulation. Again, it's like a let down button. Stimulation to normal pump. There we go. Do you hear? I think it goes up to level 9. Yeah. So there it goes. It's okay, Ram. Ramsey's very concerned. Again, I've only used this one at the office. I hope you can hear me over the pump. Loud. It's so loud. And it also, like, does this weird vibration thing. So you feel it, like, all the way through the tube into here, whereas you don't feel like a vibration with the Pump and Style. So this gives you stimulation in a different way. The motor is pretty much as strong. I do think the Pump and Style has a little bit of a stronger, you know, motor, I guess. And again, like, I have only used this one a few times because it is my backup pump for at work. So maybe it's just that I'm not as familiar with it, but I do prefer the Pump and Style, and it is my primary pump This pump I do think has its advantages of, again, if you're a person, you don't know where you're going to be pumping, you can take this baby with you, and it is super tiny. I do think it's a little louder. I do think there's less chance of milk getting in your tubing with this, and more chances of it getting in the pumping style. So the parts on this, again, are bigger. You're not going to lose these parts down a drain. So, and I think these parts, because they're like flat, they're easier to clean. So, whereas the pump and style, this thing, I mean, you can't even, and that's why I'm saying I boil it every time, because milk gets up in there and I can't brush in there. I mean, I do take the little bottle brush in there, but I mean, how do I really know it's clean? I mean, milk gets all in those nooks and crannies, right? So, whereas this puppy, if milk is all up in this business, you can scrub that off. So, Medela makes those like clean wipes, and I would totally, like, I have them at work, like in case, but I wouldn't feel comfortable like wiping down those parts, like getting in there. I couldn't get all in there. This, you could totally get all up in. So, again, if you're not going to have access to like a sink in between your pumping sessions, or I keep my pump stuff in a bag in the refrigerator in between pumping sessions, then you might want to go with this, because then you can wipe it down with those Medela clean wipes. So if you're a person that's in a non-traditional like pump setting, you're not going to be at an office with a desk and a plug and a sink, then the Freestyle is going to be like the better option for you. If you are at a desk every day or at home or whatever, excellent pump, works great, works super quick. And I'm trying to think if there's any other questions. I'm trying to think what questions I had when I was looking for a pump, and I can't think of any. So make sure you let me know your questions in the comments below, and I would be honored to answer them for you. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos, and let me know if you would like a pumping information video, if you need tips or tricks on pumping, on breastfeeding, on working and pumping and breastfeeding. It's all you know, it's so much more complicated than anyone tells you. So congratulations to you, mama, on breastfeeding your baby. You're doing the best thing for your baby, and it's so selfless. And if you need any help or have any questions, I would be honored to answer them for you. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.